Because when they start seeing a physical difference in their daughter, it really starts to get parents upset sometimes. That they really start to see, oh wow, it's a shock, you know, our daughter is taking this seriously and she is changing with her decision.
Wow.
The first thing that introduced me to Islam. So I guess going back even before converting to Islam in 2016, all throughout high school I was involved within the Uniting Church and preaching, and I was actually meant to go into ministry 1 year after. In the year that I converted to Islam, I was meant to go into ministry school with a scholarship and become an ordained minister. But as I started to do my research into Christian theology deeper and deeper, I started finding a lot of holes within it and asking a lot of questions you may have done yourself, and a lot of contradictions within the theology and things that don't add up. And for a while there I just didn't know what the world was or why I was here. And then alhamdulillah, I had some friends who were Muslim and they introduced me to their sisters, and I started learning Islam through their family. And started seeing, because Islam is an Abrahamic faith as well, as same as Christianity, and I had never really seen the similarities before. And once those similarities started being opened up to me, and I started seeing the similarities between, you know, Jesus alayhi salam and all of this, it was a shock to me, and that's kind of how it started. That's how that journey began. Yeah, definitely. But it wasn't one thing that I went, oh wow, I'm going to convert to Islam now and change my life. It was a lot of small things that helped me to realize that, wow, like this is actually the truth. And it came from small things. I think starting with Christianity, reading more into Christianity and seeing in the Old Testament, oh, you know, women are actually meant to cover their hair when they pray, and then starting to implement that myself, and then seeing how the other Christians are like, no, that was, people just did that because that was a cultural norm at the time. And also looking further into the way that we're supposed to pray as Christians as well, and just being around the Muslim family that I was introduced to, and just seeing their mannerisms and the way that they implemented Islam into their life, it just became more apparent that Islam was the truth. Yeah, I would say it was over the period of almost a year. But being a teenager as you are, you're quite impulsive with your decisions. You're like, oh, I'm being Muslim, that's it. Tomorrow, khalas, I'm putting hijab on. But
How old were you?
I had just turned 18.
Wow, so quite young.
Quite young.
I think.
Definitely. I think that was one of my faults, that I think I rushed into things very, very quickly. I was like, no, khalas, I've done my shahada. I'm going to put hijab on, I'm eating halal, and that's how it is. Yeah, of course. I think anyone who decides to change their life to that factor, definitely. There are a lot of difficulties and a lot of complications along the way, but alhamdulillah, it's getting better now. Because when they start seeing a physical difference in their daughter, it really starts to get parents upset sometimes. That they really start to see, oh wow, it's a shock, you know, our daughter is taking this seriously and she is changing with her decision.
Wow.
that's why I would definitely recommend for someone who is converting, you need to really open those lines of communication with your parents and with your family, and you need to explain to them, from a very basic beginner level of what Islam is. And if they're Christian, I would definitely suggest opening with the comparisons between this is what Christianity is, this is what Islam is, and you really, really need to take your time. Because it's not a good thing to break those family bonds, especially if you I guess the advice we would give is don't rush it. You can take your time with this, because like you were saying, when you first take your Shahada, you almost feel a strong conviction that you need to quickly change your life, and you need to learn to pray quickly. You need to put scarf on, you need to change the way that you are, and because in some regard you're still trying to figure out all of these things for yourself, and it's almost hard to articulate to anyone else what is actually going on. It really is, because there's a lot of things that you have to come to terms with yourself, because it's not like you're just changing one thing, you're changing everything about yourself. You're not just changing a label, or I'm Christian and now I'm Muslim. You change everything about yourself to your inner core. 100%. Your moral compass changes, your identity changes, the way you perceive life and the way you perceive